19 in the morning. June 6, 1944. The last thing you see is the tail of your own plane, burning into the dark. Then you are down 70 pounds of gear dragging you into the mud of a flooded field, and your straps will not loosen. A dog barks, then a voice. German. Boots on a road you cannot see. You go still not knowing where you are, or if one friend is within a mile, and the only thing in your fist is a brass cricket. One click the whole language you have left to prove you are not the enemy. Rewind 6 hours. You are sitting in a cold hangar in England. Tonight you are a private in the 506th 101st Airborne. A paratrooper. Your face is painted black. Your head is shaved to a thin strip down the middle, the way the men said the old warriors wore it. It is supposed to make you feel brave. It does not. In your hand is the cricket, a cheap little brass clicker, cold as a coin. The jump instructor drilled the rule into you until you heard it in your sleep. One click, and you wait. If a friend hears it, he clicks back twice. Anything else in the dark, no answer. Or a wrong answer, you shoot, or you run. In a field full of men with black painted faces, that little click is the only difference between a brother and a bullet. Across from you sits Danny, from Ohio. He talks too much, and he laughs too loud. And right now you love him for it, because the silence is worse. He grins and says, "See you on the ground, kid. You are the same age." He just says it that way. They trained you for the jump, the rifle, the knife. No one trained you for what you are really afraid of, and you have told no one. You are not afraid of dying. You are afraid you will freeze, that when the door opens your legs will lock, and every man will see it. The engines start. You stand. You hook your line to the cable above your head. Your legs are already shaking. Then the red light comes on beside the open door, and the whole night is waiting on the other side of it. The plan breaks before your boots ever touch France. The clouds come first, thick, blinding banks of them. The planes scatter. Then the flak, bright orange fire punching up through the dark, rocking the whole aircraft sideways. You are meant to jump in one tight stick and land in one field. Instead, the pilot is flying too fast, too high, and the green light snaps on early. You go out the door into the wrong sky, over the wrong ground. And that is the first thing the history books do not tell you. Most of the men who dropped that night came down miles from where they were meant to be, scattered like seeds thrown by a careless hand. You land alone, on your knees in a flooded field, cutting yourself free before the chute drowns you. The Germans flooded these fields on purpose. Good men went straight to the bottom tonight, dragged under by the very gear meant to keep them alive. You get your straps off just in time. You assemble your rifle in the dark by feel, barrel, stock. Your hands remember it even while your mind is screaming. Then you take out the cricket. You press it once. Click. Silence. You wait. And out of the dark, from the wrong direction, comes a sound that is almost the answer, but the rhythm is off. A single click, then a pause, then a scrape of boots moving toward you. Not two clicks. Not a brother. You do not breathe. You slide flat into the reeds, and you let the boots pass, close enough to hear a man cough in a language that is not yours. You try again, later further on. Click, and this time low and shaking out of a hedgerow click. Click, a shape rises. A rifle lowers. It is not Danny. It is a stranger from another regiment, just as lost as you. But he clicked back, and right now that is the whole world. You move together. You find a third man, then a fourth. None of you are from the same unit. It does not matter. You are an army of the lost, stitching yourselves back together one click at a time, and every click is a small act of faith, because you never quite know What will answer? Further on, you find another parachute tangled high in an apple tree, pale as a ghost against the black branches. A boot hangs below it, turning slowly in the wind, and you do not let your eyes climb any higher than the boot. For 1 second you raise the cricket, almost by instinct, waiting for the answer. But there is no answer from the tree, only the soft creak of silk against branch, and the drip of water off the leaves. You lower the clicker, and you understand something they never taught you in England. Not every silence means an enemy. Some silences only mean you arrive too late. You press it once more, quietly, for no one a small sound in the dark, for a man who can no longer make his own. By the gray of first light, you are a small band, moving low along the thick walls of earth and bramble that cut this country into 1,000 little rooms. Somewhere ahead is the sound of the sea and the beach and the men coming in on the water who need these roads clear. Then the hedgerow ends. Beyond it is a road, and on the road you hear them. Boots, many boots. A German patrol, moving toward the causeway your men were sent to hold. You drop flat. Your whole band drops flat. Your heart is slamming so hard you are sure they can hear it. This is the moment you were afraid of. You wait for your legs to fail, and you notice, almost distantly, that your thumb has found the cricket, not the trigger. Even now, even here, some part of you is still reaching for the click, still hunting for one more human being in the dark instead of a target. The German at the head of the column turns his head slowly toward the very hedge you are hiding in. It explodes. Someone fires first, you will never know who. The road erupts. Muzzle flashes tear the gray apart. Sound so loud it is not sound anymore. It is a thing that hits your body. You are firing. You do not remember deciding to. Your training has taken your hands and your legs and is running them for you. The fear is still there, but it is under you now, not on top of you. And that is all you will ever be able to say about whether you froze. The stranger beside you, the man who clicked back an hour ago, whose name you never asked, moves the wrong way at the wrong second. Something cracks past your ear, close as a whisper. When the road finally goes quiet, he is not moving. You kneel over him. There is nothing in your training for this. He is looking up at the brightening sky, and then he is not looking at anything at all. You close his eyes. You do not know his name. You never got to ask. In your other hand, the cricket is still warm from your thumb. The others are already moving. The war does not stop for the dead. You get up. By afternoon, you reach a village, Angoville au Plomb, a little stone church. Inside, 2 American medics have laid the wounded across the wooden pews, American and German, side by side, because pain does not pick a side. Candlelight and blood on the old stone floor. You move down the rows looking for one face. Ohio, too loud, too much talk. You look at every man. Danny is not here. A wounded soldier catches your sleeve as you pass. His voice is a thread. "Ohio, kid?" he says. He was looking for you. And then he cannot say any more. And you will never learn the rest, whether Danny made it, whether he is in another field, another church, or the bottom of a flooded ditch you already walked past in the dark. You sit down against a cold pillar. You take out the cricket and you turn it over in your fingers. It is not a toy anymore, and it is not just a password. It is the one thing you have that says, "I am here, and I am looking for you." By afternoon, you no longer click to find Danny. You click so the next lost boy does not have to die alone. There were thousands of them that night, scattered across the dark fields of France. Boys with painted faces, holding little brass crickets against the whole weight of a war. Most were 19. Some never saw the morning, but together, click by click, they found each other, and they held the roads that let an army come ashore. They were not fearless. They were lost and alone and afraid their legs would lock, and they answered each other in the dark anyway. If you would have clicked back into that dark, comment click below. Subscribe so the next lost story finds its way to you too.